City of Stevens Point Police and Fire Commission meeting, recorded May 8, 2025.
We'll bring the meeting to order. Candy, if we can have roll.
Behrendt?
Here.
Hirschling?
Here.
Pingel?
Here.
Zenner?
Here. And Commissioner Morozak is excused. Number 2, I have nothing for the President's report. Number 3, approval of minutes. Are there any questions, comments?
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. All right. The introduction of Commissioner John Pingel. John, welcome to the commission.
Thank you.
It's an exciting job, and we're welcome to have you on the commission.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
All right, moving on. Election of the secretary.
I think confirmation of
Yeah, you're right. Confirmation of bills. Backing up. I'm sorry, getting too excited here. I approve the bills since we didn't have a secretary. There are a few notes on here that you'll be able to see that a couple of bills were double billed in the month of April. Does anybody have any questions on the bills?
I did.
I don't have any questions. Don't have any other comments. Anybody else? I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions, comments? No, hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, election of the secretary. I will make a motion for Jason to be the secretary of the Stevens Point Police and Fire Commission.
Second that.
All right, a motion and a second. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. The election of the president.
Make a motion to nominate Joe Kirschling for re-election of president.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any comments, questions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. The election of wouldn't be the election, it's the appointment of the liaisons to the police and fire. I'm going to appoint Denise as the liaison to fire and Tom to the liaison to police. So that's that. Discussion to move July's meeting to either Tuesday, July 8th or Thursday, July 10th. Does anybody have any thoughts on that? For me, it doesn't matter.
Is anyone going on vacation that week?
Don't matter.
I'm good for either.
Whatever works for you, Prez.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I'd just like to point out that being the week of the 4th of July and Riverfront Rendezvous, we put a lot of extra time and effort into that weekend, and making sure that we have all the reports ready for Candy and everything's put together. From the fire department side, knowing what the fireworks permits and everything we've got to do on the fire side, my recommendation would be for the 10th,
Okay.
Thursday the 10th. I'm not sure about the PD, but that would help us out in prepping for that month's meeting.
Good?
Yep.
All right, I was actually going to suggest the 10th for that very reason. All right. We don't have to do anything on that. Moving to number 8, discussion with possible action to approve hat donation, approximately $500, from Commissioner Jason to both the fire department and police department. Commissioner, do you want to talk just a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's part of my business, so I thought it'd be nice to advertise, our special services, and it's perfect timing. Riverfront Rendezvous coming up, give out some hats, get people excited. My 9-year-old and his classmates took a tour of it on April, 15th, 14th, 17th, and had a blast. And yeah, they got to look at the firehouse. They got to see where you guys lived, where you ate. It was fantastic. And you might get a couple of firefighters in the near future. Well, in a decade or 2 decades or so. So, yeah.
All right. I'll make a motion to approve the hat donation, approximately $500 from Commissioner Jason to both the fire department and the police department.
I'll second that.
All right. We have a motion, a second. Any other questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, hearing none, motion carries. Discussion with possible action to approve Officer James Harper from probation status to permanent status with completion of the 18-month probationary period on June 4th, 2025. Chief?
Yes. Officer Harper, if we could come up to the podium, please. Officer Harper is here at the request of the PFC for all individuals getting off probation to kind of introduce themselves. So I'm going to have Officer Harper just kind of talk about where he's from, how he came here, what he's doing here at the police department, and then I'm going to read a recommendation letter from his current lieutenant. And we're having it now because the PFC meeting is after June 4th of next month. Officer Harper.
I guess I'll start with the same introduction I had during my interview. My name is James Harper. I enjoy long walks with my wife, 2 dogs, and 2 kids. I was born and raised in Eau Claire. I went to college in Ohio. After that, we moved back to Eau Claire. I got a job with the Chippewa Falls Police Department where I worked for 5 years. After that, my wife got a job over in this area, so we decided to look over here, and I decided to come over to this department, and I believe I've made the right decision. It's been a great experience so far.
Very good.
Any questions for any of you for Officer Harper?
I got a couple.
Shoot.
You had 5 years in Chippewa Falls, and that's my hometown. What have you noticed different? Are similarities or difference between communities that may have affected you as a police officer?
I would say that the communities are different. Stevens Point obviously has a college that definitely presents a very unique opportunity for law enforcement to have different types of interactions that I didn't see there as much. And the other big difference is just the homeless population and trying to best assist them and trying to get resources to them and help them with what they need has also been a little bit different but good. And the calls are similar. I will say that the resources that we have here, we have like a CSO team, and the Humane Society is just a great resource for us, so law enforcement can continue working more law enforcement things, and we're not going to the animal complaints and picking up bikes and parking issues, and that allows us to spend more time doing more, I hate to say it like this, real police work and doing those things with the community in order to protect everyone.
And I had one more question. You had 5 years on there. This department has had a lot of turnover with retirements, so there's a lot of opportunities. I'm sure within 5 years at Chippewa Falls PD, you were involved in extra duties. What were those, and what are you interested in bringing here if those opportunities exist?
Drone pilot, I'm already licensed. Sounds like once I'm off probation, that's pretty much a done deal. I was also an FTO. I do have my instructor development completed, so I'd like to pick a specialty and begin instructing here at the PD. Those are the predominant hats that I'd like to put back on.
All right.
All righty.
Yeah, go ahead.
And yes, after he's off probation, he will become one of our drone pilots here, which has been an incredibly successful program. This letter is from his current lieutenant. It's Justin Klein. It says, June 4th, 2025 marks the end of an 18-month probationary period for Officer James Harper. I'm pleased to recommend Officer Harper to permanent status. Officer Harper has shown consistent progress over the past 18 months. His work ethic, job performance, and willingness to become more involved with the department are all strong assets to his character and dedication. Officer Harper has been near the top of the shift statistically for calls for service, directed patrols, and investigations. Officer Harper has quickly become a valuable member of the shift and has good working relationships with all members of the department. It's rare that Officer Harper is not asking questions and getting input and guidance from senior officers as a way to continue to improve his performance and his skill set. What we're asking is that on June 4th, if he successfully completes his probationary period, that he is placed on permanent status, again, as of June 4th, 2025.
I'd like to make a motion that the chief of police has the authority to remove the 18-month probationary period as of June 4th, 2025 for Officer James Harper.
Kirschling, second. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Comments? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Officer Harper, congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Discussion with possible action to approve a donation to the police department from Tony Cimaroli.
Cimaroli, yep.
Cimaroli, the owner of Culvers on Division Street. The donation valued at $300 consists of an inflatable wind dancer in the shape of a police officer, purchased through the Police Lights of Christmas program. Chief?
Yes, so we're looking for recommendation to accept that donation. I'm going to kind of go into a little bit more than I normally do for Commissioner Pingel. We have a program that started here through Lieutenant Johnson called the Lights of Christmas. It's through 89Q, and throughout the year there is fundraisers at Culvers where all the money is turned over to Lights of Christmas, and then they disperse that money to all of the police departments that were involved in that fundraiser, and they buy gift cards. So at Christmas time, if you have somebody that's in need or you stop somebody for doing something well, you can give them a gift card. Even if you stop somebody, say it's an individual that is financially stricken and they have a child that doesn't have a car seat, we can use one of those cards, like a Walmart $100 gift card, and add those up and actually go buy them a car seat for their vehicle instead of giving them a citation, which is going to do nothing for them. And so that's what Lights of Christmas is. We've gotten like $3,000, $4,000 in the past of these cards every year that our officers are able to give out and build rapport with the community members. Incredible program. And one of the things that they had put out there, and we were going to buy it ourselves, is this wind dancer. It's actually a law enforcement officer. It's kind of like what you see on used car lots. But we were going to use that for public events and at Culvers when we do the fundraisers. It came out through some of the meetings that sometimes people aren't coming to Culvers throughout the state because they see all the law enforcement vehicles there and they think something's going on. So they promote this wind dancer. So we were going to purchase it, which I told Lieutenant Johnson to do. And then our local Culvers found out that we had ordered that and reached out and said, listen, we want to donate that to you and pay for it. So that's where it's coming from. So I'm just asking the commission for permission to accept this donation from Culvers.
Very good. Any questions? I'll make a motion to approve a donation to the police department from Tony Cimaroli, the owner of Culvers on Division Street. The donation valued at $300 for an inflatable wind dancer purchased through the Police Lights of Christmas program.
Behrendt, second.
All right, a motion and a second. Any other questions, comments? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries. And thank you, Tony, for that donation. Number 11, the police chief report. Chief?
Police chief's report. I'm going to go over 4 things out of the police chief's report because you guys have access to it and can read it all. Again, it was a very busy month. The first thing I do want to say is yesterday we had an officer, Mike Schultz, who retired from here after 28 years of service. A flag was flown for him for 24 hours and given to him in appreciation for that service to the city and for the Stevens Point Police Department. He is going to be missed around here. For the police chief's report, the first thing I do want to say is I'm extremely proud of our assistant chief, Dana Williams. She is going back to school, and May 10th, I believe, is her graduation for her bachelor's degree for criminal justice from Lakeland University. The next thing I'm going to talk about is on April 7th, Officer Radzik, who does incredible things here at the department. He is our crisis intervention officer who goes downtown and deals with individuals in mental health crisis and our veterans. And Milk, which is Mid-State Independent Living Choices, realize that he is a huge asset for the city and for the police department. And they actually awarded him the John Nuessence Relentless Badger Award. It was to recognize his longstanding dedication to individuals with disabilities, veterans, and those experiencing homelessness. And they talked about one specific instance where Officer Mike went above and beyond his normal duties, was working with an individual who was living on the streets of Stevens Point. The Officer Mike spent several months working with this company and other services to help get this person off the street and enrolled him in a long-term care program. Officer Mike worked as the bridge between the client and the services, ultimately ending in securing a permanent housing for this individual that was unhoused. Because of Officer Mike's daily efforts to make a difference in our community, he was awarded the Relentless Badger Award from Mid-State Independent Living Choices. So again, I want to thank Milk for honoring Mike Radzik for that. Again, he is an incredible asset here at the Stevens Point Police Department and for the city. The other thing I want to make sure I mention is Detective Lepak. And a lot of you probably don't know who that is. He has actually been here for 24, 25 years probably. He does our white-collar crimes. So he does like business fraud, Bitcoin thefts, and stuff like that. So he does a lot of search warrants and everything like that. But he is another incredible asset to the department. And about 2 years ago, he was listening to the radio. And on the radio, he heard something about something called a net device. And it ends up being a non-invasive, battery-powered portable device that delivers alternating current stimulation via electrodes placed on the mastoid process to treat opioid withdrawal symptoms. It caught his attention. Again, it's not his wheelhouse. He does white-collar crimes. And he started researching this without our knowledge at first. And he spent 2 years on it, while still doing all of his own stuff and his own workload. And he didn't want to bring it forward until the FDA actually approved it. And so I'm just going to read what I wrote for his, he received a meritorious award because of all the stuff that he had put forward in this. But the FDA cleared the treatment option for opioid users, offering a non-medication approach. And in May of 2024 is when the FDA approved it, and later in the year of 2024 they did clinical trials and they published them, which showed significant positive results from its use. With this new information, Detective Lepak began reaching out to sources to see about obtaining funding for this treatment option. He reached out to state representatives in hopes to get this approved device on their radar. Detective Lepak did not stop there. On April 1st, he presented this research to the Overdose Fatality Review Committee in Portage County. He invited local judges, Portage County Health and Human Services, the Plover Police Department, Stevens Point Police Department, Portage County Sheriff's Office, Probation and Parole, Portage County District Attorney's Office, the local Wisconsin legislators, Portage County board members, directors of the Portage County Drug Unit, and all other stakeholders were invited to this. He presented it there and brought it to their attention. And I put in here, Detective Lepak's 2-year commitment to the NET device treatment program shows his true dedication to the community of Stevens Point and Portage County. All this was achieved while still maintaining incredible caseload in the Bureau, and it is clear that his efforts went above and beyond what's expected. and this act warrants special recognition because of the impact it has made on those suffering from addiction. So he was actually awarded the Meritorious Award by the department because of what he put into this program. And again, he heard it on the radio, and that's what he started doing. The very last thing I'm going to talk about, which is actually all exciting stuff we've talked about today, is I'm going to have Lieutenant Johnson come up to the podium. He is going to talk about something that was needed here in the city of Stevens Point. They recognized what they needed, and him and Chief Ewing got together and were instrumental in bringing this together with donations. So I'm going to have him explain, because he can do a much better job than I can about Stop the Bleed program.
Tony's in South Carolina, so I'm settling for Joe, if that's right.
I'll try to keep it short for you.
Yeah, so just to give you guys a brief little historical lesson about how we came up with this. A couple years ago, so we obviously train rescue task force training in our schools and different businesses, things like that. We've been doing that for about 10 years. About a year and a half ago, when we started training in the rural schools, we recognized a huge gap, about a 15 to 20 minute gap, before any type of paramedic could get on scene to help treat people if they were ever injured in an active shooter situation. So we realized, okay, we need to do something about that. We're not going to have paramedics on scene, so we need to train the staff on how they can help save lives. And by doing that, then there's this program called Stop the Bleed, which Joe will talk about here in a little bit. But with that program, there are certain things in these kits that help save lives within that time frame before we can get to them and transport them to a hospital. So fast forward about another year, after we did some training here in Stevens Point, well, let me back up. So the big thing was financially, how are we going to afford this stuff? We wanted to have these kits in every single classroom, in every single school, in the entire county, which we realized was about $90,000 worth of materials that we would need, which was unreasonable. So we backed up a little bit. We obviously trained Pacelli. They had some funding available, so they outfitted their 3 schools immediately with these Stop the Bleed kits. They have stuff in every classroom, which was great. However, the public schools, we still had a big gap. So our union, the Stevens Point Police Officers Organization, we have a fundraiser every year. We make a fair amount of money for that. Our union decided to set aside some money to purchase items for these Stop the Bleed kits if we could get some other funding available, because there was no way our union could pay for all this on our own. So about maybe 4 months ago, Assistant Chief Williams sent out an email stating CIVMIC was looking to give out some money as well. One of the categories fit under these Stop the Bleed kits. So we were able to get some money from CIVMIC as well as a few other donors. So Innovia Health in town gave us some cash, and then Stevens Point Orthopedics donated some materials, as well as the fire department, which is their local 484 Firefighters Association. And then Land's End, who we have a connection through the school district, donated the bags that would hold these kits. They say Stop the Bleed on them. So all in all, we had about $3,500, which we used to purchase tourniquets, chest seals, and then the rest of the materials were donated. We put together about 41 kits, and we outfitted every single school in the Stevens Point School District with at least 2, but pretty much every school has 3 or 4 of these kits in their schools. Now, is that enough? No, but it's a good start. A lot of the staff members in the district have been trained on Stop the Bleed through our training program. However, we have now offered anybody else looking for additional training through the fire department or through other paramedics where they can get trained as well. But so we did, obviously, our high school, both our middle schools, and then all the elementary schools, even all the way out to Kennedy, both Plover schools, McDill. So every school in the district is outfitted with these. And the Sheriff's Department, the Portage County Sheriff's Department, is actively taking in funds. And so by the beginning of next school year, every single school will have a Stop the Bleed kit in it in the entire county, which is, we think, relatively unheard of. We don't think anybody else probably in the area or maybe in the state is doing this, but it's just one of those small steps towards trying to make our schools a little bit safer. And then we're trying to encourage every business that we go to, every place we talk about active shooter training, to get these kits in their buildings or in their businesses or in their churches, because they are essential in help saving lives if there were an active shooter situation in their building. As far as what's in the kits, I'll leave that to Joe on the paramedic side of things.
So as we looked at these things, when we were putting the kits together, when DC Ewing and Johnson were working on this, the decision was we needed to stabilize the patient, and we needed something that was relatively easy for them to utilize. So we went with a chest seal, which is a seal in case of a ballistic a bullet shot into the chest, where they can actually seal the chest and then stop the air from leaking in the event that that's needed. We added tourniquets to it. The tourniquets will stop the bleeding. They'll just put it up above the injury and they'll stop that bleeding. And then packing gauze, which then they can pack into. The premise behind that is to just stabilize the patient till the medics can get there. It's unfortunate that we have to address these situations in today's environment, but we know that it's better to be prepared and to teach these people these few lessons that they need that could really make a difference in people's lives and protect life out in the field. This is not going to stop the shootings, but this is should stop some of the dying.
Any questions?
Does anybody have questions? Is there a absolutely fantastic program, and thank you guys for putting this together. Is there anything moving forward in the future to, I'm sure things need to be replaced, is there any money set aside that you plan on for replacing items that need replacement?
We've talked about that. Currently, no. We took the funds that we had and we purchased as much as we could because, like I said before, that's still not enough. It's a good start, but through our media releases and things like that, we did mention, if other places wanted to get involved, that we would be willing to, accept donations or materials if necessary. But Lance Lewis, who's the head of security for the district, I don't know if you guys know Lance, he did some legwork and went around and got donations from like Innovia Health and Stevens Point Orthopedics. So we didn't really reach too far out, right? We knew what we wanted to do, so we started here. And I think through our rescue task force training and things like that, this is only going to expand. And once we get it in every school, then we can try to continue to take in material and replace them as necessary. But what is the lifespan on this? Almost 5 years?
3 to 5 years.
5 years. So that will be a necessity, but I don't think we're going to have a problem with it moving forward. Our community is pretty.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine
pretty
you
supportive
would.
when it comes to this kind of stuff, keeping our kids.
But anybody watching this and looking to donate some money,
Yeah.
there you go.
No.
You might have covered this, Joe, but you spearheaded this?
Well, I mean.
Who come up with the idea?
Our instructor cadre did. I mean,
Okay.
did I kind of kick the ball to get the ball rolling? Yeah, I did, but there's a whole bunch of people behind the scenes that, should be recognized as well. We have like 14 different instructors on our instructor cadre that all thought this was a necessity, and somebody has to take the lead and get it going, so, but yeah.
Was there a blueprint to this, or is this kind of a program that you came up with?
We just kind of winged it, honestly.
So Stop the Bleed, this isn't a...
Oh, Stop the Bleed is a legit thing.
Yeah, Stop
That's
the
a
Bleed
program.
is yes.
As far as putting the kids together, we just we figured, okay, this is what's going to work best. Let's just do this. Because nobody else had done it here in the county, so we just figured, well, let's see how this works and go from there.
Yeah, that's outstanding.
Yeah, so very, very proud of all of them for spearheading that and actually recognize the deficiency and coming up with a solution. It's so important here that yesterday they didn't have somebody to help teach Stop the Bleed, and so Chief Moody actually went and taught Stop the Bleed yesterday. So, but that is it for the chief's report. The rest of the stuff is obviously there for you to read. If anybody has any questions, I'll answer them.
Any questions?
Not so much questions, but some statements. One, Officer Mike Schultz, huge loss for the department, great officer. Also, and you didn't bring this up because there's so much stuff going on, Officer Trevor Zingler, after 6 years, another loss for the department, great individual. The main thing I wanted to bring up, I mean, in what you covered as topics, I don't think I've ever recalled a monthly chief's report with such impactful things taking place. I mean, it's almost a shame out of those three things that each of them stand on their own. To have that happen in 1 month is outstanding. People have heard of Officer Mike Radsick and what he's done, and well-deserved award that he received. Stop the Bleed, outstanding for Joe and the other cadre to bring that up. I mean, these things don't even really fall within the scope so much of law enforcement. That's what I think is so significant. It's not, I shouldn't say not in their wheelhouse, but it is a step out. But the biggest one, Detective Lepak, as you said, not a name that you hear often, but not only this, that is so much really outside of law enforcement. He's also the individual that brought the camera system into Stevens Point. I think that was the flock system. Just a guy that kind of flies underneath the radar. This particular award, it almost seems unfair to him that it's contained just in the police department with the Police and Fire Commission. This is something that should be recognized or brought forward Common Council, because it's even not only as municipality, just as a county, Portage County, the impact that if it wasn't, he was such a data nerd, so to speak, that he comes across these things, that he could, run with that. I would ask that you bring this to the mayor and see if there's a recognition program. Although Detective Lepak will hate that, I'm sure. I think it does need to go beyond just the Police and Fire Commission, this recognition.
So with that, obviously, he's extremely humble. He didn't want a ceremony. He didn't want anything with regarding this award, except he was very honored in receiving it. He did allow Brandy McCuskey from the Point Plover Metro come and do an interview with him. And she did an interview on this, on the NET program, and he was willing to, this is him, he was willing to do that because she agreed that she would open it free to everybody that wanted to read it. And it's a way to get that program out there, and that's what Kent does. That's how Kent is. I will ask him about bringing it forward, and I might make mention to the council, but he would not want anything, any presentations. But I would agree that it should be brought up to the council's attention on what he went and what he did above and beyond.
All right, any other questions? I'll make a motion to accept the police chief's report.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Discussion with possible action on the promotion of motor pump operator, Paramedic Justin Thomson, to the position of Lieutenant Paramedic. Chief?
With the resignation of Lieutenant Westfall from the Stevens Point Fire Department after 14 years, he'll be moving on, and we greatly appreciated all of the work and the time and effort he spent with the Stevens Point Fire Department. We are going to have a vacancy in one of our lieutenant's positions after May 15th of this year. We are looking to promote Lieutenant or Justin Thomson to the position of Lieutenant Paramedic effective May 16th. He has been with the department since 2005. He was appointed to an MPO position in 2015 and has been an acting lieutenant for even longer than that. He has served on many committees throughout the years on the department and has become one of our resident experts when it comes to the motor pump operator position and understanding the pumping capabilities of our apparatuses. So with that, I'm looking for a recommendation for his promotion effective May 16th.
Make a motion to recommend promotion to Justin Thomson to the position of lieutenant effective May 16th.
Second by Behrendt.
All right, motion and a second. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Congratulations, Justin. Discussion with possible action on the appointment of Firefighter Paramedic Kraig Arndt to the position of motor pump operator paramedic. Chief?
So obviously in the department, when we have those resignations or promotions, we have that domino effect. And with that, we would then currently have a motor pump operator position open. Kraig Arndt's been with the department since 2017 and has been committed to the department in many different ways, serving on different committees, helping run different programs, and always been one of those people that have been a go-to firefighter paramedic when things have been needed. So with that, again, I would I'd be looking for a recommendation for his appointment to motor pump operator effective May 16th as well.
I'll move.
All right. We got a motion to the appointment of firefighter paramedic Kraig Arndt to the position of motor pump operator paramedic. Kirschling will second that. Go ahead.
Before we're under discussion, correct?
Go ahead.
Did you say promotion? It should be appointment.
Appointment. Did I say promotion?
I apologize. And normally it's one of those things
that's
when
fine.
we get on a roll, but
Yep.
this, I want to make sure that we're effectively following the contract
I agree.
within the local, so it is an appointed position.
I agree. I apologize if I said anything other than appointment.
I will motion to approve the appointment of firefighter paramedic Kraig Arndt to the position of motor pump operator / paramedic,
Effective May 16th?
effective May 16th.
All right, Kirschling will second that. All right, any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Congratulations, firefighter paramedic Kraig Arndt. Discussion with possible action on the City Mitigation Plan. Chiefs?
So I'd like to actually turn this over to our Deputy Fire Marshal and Emergency Management Coordinator, Mr. Malin, and to explain the City Mitigation Plan. This has been an extensive project that he has overhauled and worked diligently on with all of the department heads and elected officials here in the city to move this forward. So, go ahead.
Thank you, Chief. So we, last year, Portage County EM came to me and advised that they wanted to do the mitigation plan in-house. It's part of a county plan. In the past, we've contracted that out. So each municipality within the county had the option of opting in or opting out. Mayor Wiesa, after discussion, we opted in. And so we've been working on it since last year. It was a team effort. Every department was involved, all the department heads. So just a real quick overview. The purpose of the mitigation plan, it identifies strategies to reduce impact of natural and human-caused hazards. It helps protect people, infrastructure, property, and allows the recovery to be a little quicker on certain items. Some of the top hazards that have been identified in the plan are flooding, severe weather, winter storms, temperatures, power outages, and infrastructure failures. And like I said, it kind of identifies our capabilities and steps to improve that. So with that, is there any question on the mitigation plan?
I don't have any.
So the reason this is brought up under discussion with possible action, I needed to explain that a little bit further, is we actually need this adopted by the city in order to move it forward. So the reason we're bringing it forward here at the Police and Fire Commission is we're looking for it to be a motion for approval of the adoption of the mitigation plan for the city. That way, it can go forward to the Common Council, be adopted and approved there, and then we can move it forward to the county. So that's what we would be looking for at this time.
All right, any other questions? I'll make a motion to adopt the City Mitigation Plan. Is that the motion that you're,
Yes.
to move it forward? All right, second by Zenner. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Discussion with possible action to accept the donation of $500 from Wisconsin League of Musky Anglers for the live scope and slide can sonar.
So, again, just like last month, we took in donations for our live scope and side scan sonar. We would be looking at, again, accepting a donation this time from the Wisconsin League of Musky Anglers in the amount of $500 towards this equipment.
Any questions? A motion?
Make a motion to accept a donation from the Wisconsin League of Musky Anglers for $500 for a live scope side scan sonar.
Second by Behrendt.
All right, we have a motion second. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Fire Chief's report, EMS report, EM report. Chief?
One thing I'd like to point out, under position staffed, it states 46. It is currently 45. Just wanted to make that correction known. Also wanted to speak on behalf of last month's donation towards the live scope and side scan sonar and the $5,000 from the Community Foundation of Central Wisconsin. I know President Kirschling, you had asked if that was specifically from them or from others within, and I want to let everyone know what that actually and who was making those donations. That came in after last month's meeting when we finally found out who was actually making those donations. So $2,600 actually came from the Arthur Hintz Charitable Foundation, and $2,400 came from the Wellness Mission Fund of Portage County. So I just wanted to point that out to everyone and make sure that we were clear on that after last month's acceptance of the $5,000 donation towards the same equipment. The next thing I'd like to point out is the National Emergency Response Information System, the NERIS system. We had touched on it last month, and I just wanted to point this out again, is currently we do all of our data reporting and report writing in what we call the EMFERS program for the fire and technical rescue side of the house. And that is a reporting system that's out there nationally, and we are moving towards what's called NERIS in the future, January 1st of 2026. We have been selected as one of 400 departments nationally to do the beta testing for this program, thanks to Chief Zavara and other members of the Stevens Point Fire Department who have stepped up to really spearhead this project. So we're going to be ahead of the curve nationally as we move forward with this new database system. Another thing I'd like to point out is the Battalion Chief Hegeman wrote and revised state curriculum. And this is a big thing when it comes to the state of Wisconsin or looking at things. He was instrumental in writing the curriculum for the new state certification live fire instructor course. So currently, if you were an instructor, you could participate and be one of the 7 instructors that needed to be on site by 1403 compliance. And basically, that allows us to light a fire in a building and actually teach people true fire behavior, tactics, and experience the heat, the smoke, the gases, and the rest. We have been, the state of Wisconsin has come out with an actual certification for this now, and was offered for the course has been ran 3 times in the state of Wisconsin, and this is the first time it was offered by a technical college. And Battalion Chief Hegeman actually taught the class here in Stevens Point 11 of our current instructors went through the course with 2 others from outside, and we have completed the live fire course, and now we're just waiting on our state certifications. We have a state certification test date coming up in the near future, and once that's done, this will be the first class offered that will have a certification behind it for the state. So pretty significant for the state of Wisconsin. And that'll allow us then to go out and do those live fire on acquired structures or actually in our burn facility at the training center. So a big thing, and a lot of work went into that program, not only for him, but then our instructors that actually went through the course. 24-hour course, and then they have to take the state certification. The only other thing I wanted to point out is we just had our Stevens Point Fire Department pancake breakfast. It was a good turnout. Family and friends of the Stevens Point Fire Department and area showed up, and continue under public activities to be a community partner working with the Parks Department, Portage County Jails, and doing CPR refreshes and extinguisher trainings, and working with other community departments and members out there. On the emergency management report, again, you can see continuous the uptick in meetings and training that continues to happen. And a big thing that I want to point out is under emergency management, Justin Malin completed his emergency management certification for emergency managers basic. That was an additional 174 hours?
Yeah.
It was 174 additional hours of training that he completed, and will be recognized coming up by the governor this year for that completion. So again, emergency management taking leaps and bounds forward in the city of Stevens Point, and having that point of contact when those situations occur, and knowing what the expectations are. Other than that, I do not have anything else for the fire, EMS, or emergency management reports. Any questions?
I do not have any questions. All right, I'll make a motion to accept the fire chief report, EMS report, and EM report.
Second by Behrendt.
All right, we have a motion, a second. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries, and we are adjourned. Thank you.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.